What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the first video of actually building out the bus. So as you can see, all the seats are out. We prepped the floors pretty much. Now it's time to get some plywood in here, get some wood in here, start framing out these wheel wells here, start doing all types of stuff, routing and getting all the measurements for the windows. I'm gonna flip this camera around and show you the current layout, or at least the current plan on what we're gonna do to build this bus out. If you've been following this journey, you know that this is not gonna be a bus we live in. This is gonna be our Yak Tribe mobile kayak fishing shop. And so I wanna go ahead and show you how everything's taped out, how it's coded out, or at least my color system. Maybe you can get kind of a vision. So we're gonna start on this side of the bus. This right here, this whole first window, this is gonna be kind of the checkout area. There's gonna be a cubby that runs along the bottom of this entire kind of side right here. Same as this side, a cubby that runs the entire side right here, all the way up to the wheel wells. Right here, we're gonna have some sort of like cool, you know, built-in bookend or bookcase or shelf, whatever. We're gonna find like a cool piece of furniture to put right here, and the cubby will butt all the way up to it. Now, any window that has green is gonna be an open window. So we're not covering up the emergency exit. We're not covering up these two windows. We're not covering up this one. We're not gonna cover up this emergency window or the front window by the checkout station right here. But from blue tape to blue tape, this will all be covered up with hanging inventory. These two windows from blue tape to blue tape, this will all be covered up all the way down to the wheel well right here. And that will be hanging inventory. Over here, we'll have one window. This will be different types of hanging inventory here. And then from this window to this window, this will be hanging inventory. So as we move to the back, we're gonna have this seat right here, a table in the middle, and this seat right here. Behind this, this is actually, I moved this. This is gonna be moved more that way. This is gonna be where my heat press is to press up all our shirts. We'll do like different displays and stuff for the shirts. And then over here, you can see this is taped off all the way to the wheel well. This will be a nice big workbench for me to be able to service, you know, kayak fishing accessories or fishing reels or rod repairs or anything that have to do with fishing, kayak fishing. I could service stuff like there. I could cut my vinyl. I could cut my decals. I could prep shirts, you know, get all the screens prepped and then press them. We'll have all shirts hanging up here. And yeah, that's pretty much the vision for the bus. This whole middle area is gonna be open. Nice big walking space so people can just, you know, look at all the inventory and enjoy their time in the shop. So I know I skipped some of the building process, but you know how it is when you're building and trying to film. Sometimes you just want to build. So I built these little cubbies right here. This is gonna go all the way up against the wall and lean on the shelf back there. And on top of this, that's where the plywood is gonna go for our first hanging piece of inventory. And then again, another 2 windows of there will be covered up. But I've got all the bracing down into the floor. These are just things you have to think about because when you're driving, you don't want, you don't want everything going everywhere. So got the bracing in. This is pretty strong. We can walk on it. Only light inventory is going on top of this, so it doesn't need to be too strong, but anyways, strong enough right there. We're gonna go ahead and sink this in, build out the other side. Although before I build out this other side, I might end up hanging up 1 sheet of plywood just to see how it looks. That's where we're at. So what's going on right now is I'm trying to hang this sheet of plywood up, cover the windows, but of course I don't want to take any of this hardware off. I'm trying to keep this as future usable as possible. So I don't want to take out windows, ruin things, so right now I'm routing out, little spots because these clamps that hold the windows flush in here, they protrude. So I'm just routing out on the back end. Nothing, I'm not doing any fancy measurements here. I'm just on all the different sides. That way this plywood can sit flush up against the windows there and not have an issue. So. We've got the first panel up. Awesome. So this will be stained, have all different tracks screwed on there to hold inventory like lures and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if I already explained this, but the reason why I'm not just gonna use pegboard is because remember, this bus is gonna be driving. So that particle board within that pegboard, that material, as things are swinging around or whatever, or holding, that's just gonna get ruined over time. And those holes that hold the pegs in are gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're just gonna go ahead and screw in, the arms that hold, inventory and stuff like that, screw it into the plywood and go that route. So this one's already covered. These 2 will be covered. This one will be covered. And these 2 will be covered. So again, another one of these cubbies all the way over there. But we're making progress, so it feels good, man. So we've got this wall up, this one up, and we got a small one over there, and then another double window or wall hanging up right there. So we're gonna move on to staining it. We are using this North Sea stain. And you know, this inventory wall right here, you're really not gonna see a lot of this plywood. It's all gonna be covered. I ended up finding another solution. Instead of, you know, drilling just the inventory, basically holders or whatever you call them, onto the wood, I found these steel pegboards by Husky, $10 a piece at Home Depot. So that's gonna be covering all this. It's gonna be covering that wall once we put it up, and that double wall once we put it up. But I wanna go ahead and stain some of this stuff so we know what it looks like, and then we'll hang up some of the inventory pegboards in the next video.